24 years is how long his professional tennis career is. 14 Grand Slam he has to his credit, and he's participated in 6 Olympic Games, which, by the way, are the most for any Indian athlete. In fact, the most for any tennis player in the history of the sport. But you know what? Let's forget about the numbers, because when it comes to Leander Paes, they say age is just a number. Talking to us today is Leander, Magic Hands Paes. I know you've got many awards before. Where does this award stand in the rest of that you've got in your career?
Well, firstly, I'm very humbled by the award, and I'd like to thank Doc and the whole team at NDTV for their continuous support over, 3 generations now. And when you actually look at the longevity of the career, I think that awards like this are motivating factors to wake up in the morning and keep pushing my body and my mind. For me, my father being an Olympian, my mom being a basketball player for the country, and for me to come in as a third person in the family to represent the country is the greatest honor I can have as an athlete. Over these 3 different careers, the longevity, as you said, whenever I hear it, I'm like, have I really played for 24 years? And it doesn't seem that long to me, because I'm very passionate about what I do. I love what I do.
You've played 24 years of professional tennis. NDTV is celebrating 25 years. So it's, both careers have coincided in a way. We want to know what's the secret of Leander's energy.
I think it's the amazing team that I've got around me. My dad has been my mentor, my father, and one of the best friends I've had my whole life. My coach, Rick Leach, has been with me for 19 years. My fitness trainer, Dave Herman, has been with me for 23 years. Also, my yoga master, confidant, travel partner, Sanjay Singh, he's been with me 24 years. And this core team that I've got around me have done an amazing job with me. And also, when you have, the support and the appreciation and the constant support of 1.3 billion Indians, it's plenty there to be motivated with. And if there's even one child who can learn from my story and learn that a little bit of hard work and lots of belief in yourself can achieve magic, then it's a job well done.
All right. Right at the start of the interview, I mentioned 6 Olympic Games. The 7th beckons?
Oh, for sure it does. I'm always playing for records. For me now to have the record as the oldest man in the Open era to win a Grand Slam was something that was special at the US Open this year, 3 months ago. To go to Rio would be really special. I'll be 43 at the time, and at the moment there's no tennis player on the planet who's ever played 6 Olympics. To go out there and do 7 would be really special. This last Olympics was a bit of a sour memory in my mind, and in Rio I'm really looking forward to going out there and having a better experience and hopefully coveting a medal for the country.
Why do I get the feeling, had Sachin Tendulkar spoken to you before he announced his retirement, he wouldn't have? Is that correct?
Sachin's had a great career. I think that at the end of the day, each of us individuals have to look and introspect as to how our body is, how our mind is, how the wear and tear and the ruggedness of trying to achieve excellence has worn on our bodies and our mind. And for me, what Sachin's been able to achieve over the 3 decades, what Vishy Anand has been able to achieve over the 3 decades is something that I will always respect them for. 2 great citizens of the country and 2 great athletes.
All right. Let's look back at your career, because that's what we're celebrating today. We'll get to your doubles game. You're a legend in your own right when it comes to doubles, but I'll start with the singles. You've beaten many high-ranked players during your career. Which is the biggest fish, according to you, that you caught in your singles career? I remember Pete Sampras being one, Goran Ivanisevic being one.
Yeah, I think the Sampras one was really special, because he was #1 in the world at the time. He had been #1 for about 2.5 years. I was playing him in America, in his own backyard at Yale University in Connecticut, and no one gave me a chance. It was a professional tournament. It was in the 2nd round. And I remember in the 1st round, I had beaten Arnaud Butch, a Frenchman who I had beaten in Davis Cup a couple of years before. And when I came back into the locker room, my sparring partner, Leighton Hewitt at the time, had just lost 6-4, 7-5 to Sampras. And Leighton was really upset with the loss. And I looked at him and I said, "Why are you so upset?" And he goes, I had a real chance. And we shared a few notes, we shared a few experiences that Leighton had in that 1st round. And one secret that he told me, I actually kept in the back of my memory when I went out the next day to play Pete, and it actually came true. I was able to win that match 6-4, 6-3, and beating the #1 player in the world, beating Pete Sampras, is something that's really special. I've played him 4 times, 3 times in doubles, 1 time in singles, and I've never lost. So that's something that's special for me.
That's a great record. Another great match that I remember, you didn't end up on the winning side. That's the match in the semi-finals against Andre Agassi. Do you ever look back now after so many years thinking that I almost had him by the throat? I could have killed him there.
You know, perspective is an interesting thing, isn't it? And looking back at that match, he was serving at 5-6 in the first set, down 15-40 at 2 set points, and Andre hit a first serve on the service line which skidded through. I took that and came into the net, and as I approached the net, I pretty much had all the lines covered. I had the down the line shot covered, I had the topspin lob covered, I had the short cross-court backhand, which is his favorite, covered, and Andre read the game so well, and he hit that backhand right at my jaw. And when he hit it at my right jaw, I tried to fend it off into the open court, and when I did that, I snapped the tendon in my wrist. I had a 70% partial tear on that shot between the wrist and the elbow tendon, and my wrist was just floppy at the time. I didn't have any power in it. I was in extreme agony. And the perspective I had at that time was that was the first Olympics that the 3rd and 4th player in the draw had to play for the bronze medal. In the past Olympics, you always had a gold, a silver, and 2 bronzes. But here we had to have a playoff, and I was playing a baseliner called Fernando Melangeni. I was in a cast for 2 days. I came off the morning of the match, and they cut the cast off. My wrist was still blown up, and when I went out to warm up, I couldn't even grip my racket. So the memory that is in my head is of sheer grit, of sheer relentless fire in one's belly to achieve one's goal, and at the same time just a sheer appreciation for the team that I have around me who did everything in their power to get me ready. And when I stood on that podium with Andre and Sergi Bruguera, another one of my friends, and I had the medal around my neck, and I saw a flag go up, and saw all the Indians in the stands just euphoric. It's by far the single most professional sporting memory that I've got as an athlete. It was a very proud moment for me to represent my country and 1.3 billion Indians.
Right. This is something that anyone who's followed your career would notice. Whenever Leander's playing for the country, he's playing on a different plane. What happens to Leander when he's playing for the country vis-a-vis the Leander who's playing for himself in Grand Slams?
Playing for my country is magic. It's probably the reason that I've been able to do so well over so many years. And I find that whenever I step out with my playing jersey, our blue that we play in, not only is it my favorite color, it actually turns my mind into something that's very hard to explain in words. I think that my sense of responsibility to my flag, or my sense of responsibility to the people, is something that's important to me. I've tried to do it the best that I could. Always, whenever I've stepped out there on the court or even off of it, when I've represented the country, I've tried to be the best that I could be. And at the same time, it's probably one of the reasons why the last Olympics was so leave such a sour taste in my mouth, that after having been number 1 in the world and asking for the best partner to win a medal, not only did I lose out trying to win a doubles medal to put next to my singles, I think the country also lost out as well.
Right. Another thing that one notices about Leander Paes, and the world calls him magic hands, because you do have magic hands. You spoke about your wrist. I think if I was to compare it to a cricketer, it'd be probably Mohammad Azharuddin or VVS Lakshman, people who had magical wrists. You too had that. Is your volleying game dependent on your wrist? What is the magic?
My volleying game is dependent on my legs. The fact that I can get to positions much faster than most others, it gives me extra time that my hands can be soft or gentle or powerful if I need. I think that tennis is such a tough game, both physically and mentally. The ball's traveling so fast, and it's just a continuous anaerobic movement that the quickness of feet, the quickness of hands are complemented by the quickness of mind. And for me, regardless of what age that I've played the game, I've always tried to keep my reflexes, tried to keep my footwork, my hands, and my mind really sharp, so that I can compete with the best in the world.
All right, that you have for so many years. Talking about your doubles game, now I know most doubles player will find it very hard to pick their best partners, but I'm going to ask you, who is the most fun to play with? Let's start with the mixed doubles. Who is the most fun to play with, a partner?
You're going to get me into trouble on this.
No, that's why I said not the best partner
one
necessarily.
is very hard.
Yeah, the one you had most fun with, not necessarily winning titles.
Navratilova. Martina is one of my closest friends, one of my closest confidants, and our thought process is very similar. We've both been students of the game of tennis. We've both been students of fitness. We've both been students for life. And when we get on that court, we think out of the box. We're very, very professional. But we also think out of the box in terms of creativity to see how we can keep getting better with our careers or with our performance. So in the mixed doubles, I definitely think it's Martina.
All right. And men's doubles?
In men's doubles, it would be Radek Stepanek, my current partner, who we've played together for 2 years. And the high intelligence that he possesses when he's on the court and off of it allows him to make great decisions. I'm hoping that by the summer, one would be able to come good with the hard work that we put in to win another Grand Slam this year.